Kirak. We're going to hell. We're all going to hell.
You're really going to try to repeat it?
Yes, we're all going to hell. Welcome to another edition of the Sack Exchange here in lovely Sportier Cage. If you're not in the cage, that means you're nowhere near this cage.
It was funnier the first time.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a little technical difficulty, courtesy of the Eagle.
Sorry, guys.
Welcome in the better-looking version of PZ, GM Kalethris.
Thank you, appreciate it.
I don't agree anymore.
I know you don't.
We're pulling out all the stops here.
Yeah.
The producer who had a beard on Saturday now has a somewhat of a lower jaw goatee. Eagle.
I looked like Moe's from The Office on Saturday, and I figured it wasn't a good look to keep, so yeah, I'm just going with the pinch now.
Looks like Frank Mir from the UFC if he was 7.
Before that, he had like a Mennonite look going on.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Good for you, man. How long did it take you?
About a good month.
Looks good on you, Eagle.
Around the same time it took him to raise that barn.
Nice.
Better than Sidney Crosby, so wow.
You're ready for the playoffs, I see, with the goatee.
This is football, not hockey.
And welcome in, of course, Matt Kirak.
Hey.
We'll reveal the player of the years for Division A and Division B.
Player of the year.
I don't know. Quarterback of the year, receiver of the year, two-way of the year, defense player of the year.
I guess it should be be called for the season, but it's just the way we word it.
Have you ever won an award, Mo?
I have won championships, my friend.
No, you have not done anything. Your team has done it. You were just there.
Yeah, I'm just there.
In the Div 1 finals,
yeah, that's Leo Gervais.
winter 2009, key sack to bring the game into overtime on Rick. Yeah,
it's the only sack he talks about. It's like
I don't talk about the sack. Leo Gervais talks about the sack. I don't talk about the sack.
No, you know how many times you've asked me to ask Leo about the sack?
Ask Leo. I don't even talk about it.
Do you tell Leo to talk about the sack?
Absolutely no. We can call Leo Gervais right now on my phone.
Let's not do that. Leave him alone. He's got things to do.
Poor man's been through enough.
And of course, it is playoff time here for Division A. Division B. We'll preview the games. We'll screw the recaps from last week and dive right into the playoffs.
There's no point.
There's no point. There's no point here.
No point.
This is a quick yes or no, guys. The teams that have made it for Division A, Division B, quite content with what we have in the playoffs. This is arguably the strongest playoff brackets we have for both sides here.
For this year, yeah, absolutely. Division A.
Division A is Division A.
Rainmakers going 1-9 is a surprise to me, but no team. Look, they had. Who they have?
We knew week 5 though how this would end up. Like just looking at how the rankings were, it was apparent early on who would make it from Division A and who would not. Whereas Division B,
craziness.
Monday night, we all stood around waiting because those games had so much on the line. The ties, the fact that these games are so close, and
I feel as if I should
so emotionally.
I should say that if I was Pease, I'd be happy that poor Simone didn't get in.
Oh God, you should have seen it. The next day he told me on Facebook chat, I'm heartbroken.
There's no way he bounced off the field as Johnny Bravo Harry this time. No way.
No. I mean, essentially for those who don't know, Monday night, from what Jam was referring to, was Division B playoffs. The Raiders had tied Monstars,
which is huge.
Which was huge because they were about to be literally kicked out from the playoff picture with an INT by Jonathan Grizzly, and then they went, scored, tied the game up. And then essentially they were in the 8th spot and had to wait for the last game to finish, which was between Lightweight and, of course, the Wolverines. The whole idea for Raiders was that they couldn't have tied. And guess what happened? It was tied late in the second half, and then finally the Wolverines pulled away, ended up winning by 2 scores with 4 plays left.
Nice.
So it is what it is.
Poor Simon. I feel bad.
Yeah,
Not actually.
He's got snatchers to worry about in Division C. Let's talk about Division A here. We'll talk about the Maniacs Legends, a 4-5 matchup here. Maniacs 2-8, Legends 3-7. The Legends won both games by a combined score of 2 points, 41-40 and 32-31. I'll ask you this, Matt Kirak. Even amidst the roster that they may or may not have this weekend here or next week, Maniacs a team of destiny or just lucky in how the thing unfolded for them this year of the season?
I think it's luck, to be honest with you. To get in the playoffs with 2 wins is a little ridiculous, especially when the other team was the Rainmakers. If it was the other way around, if it was Legends, they wouldn't have got it. I mean, it's luck. It's complete luck to me.
Well, when you think about it, right, the Legends, 2 of the 3 wins came, 3 of the wins came against Maniacs and, of course, against Rainmakers. Yeah. So, essentially, in those 4 games, if you went 3 out of 4, you probably assure yourself of a playoff spot.
Where was Corey Pecker at all those games?
He was there for the first game. And then the second game, it's all like a smorgasbord of what happened with Corey Pecker, right? Because he missed like 4 games in the last 6 weeks.
But I guess the question remains, looking at this, like this 4 versus 5, where both of these teams combined are 5 wins, 15 losses. Like, do these teams deserve to be here?
Well, yeah, there's only 6 teams, so yes, but is it going to be a stomping later on? Who knows?
Well, theoretically, we can say that if the Maniacs were to win and maybe they have a chance. Who knows? They would play the winner. Well, they play the red R&D. Yeah, exactly. So
I am actually, I would agree. Despite the Legends 3-7 record, which is better, I think that whichever team makes it through, either of those teams, Maniacs would have an easier time than Legends. Legends would really have the deck stacked against them against Roosters and Donkeys.
mentally speaking, here we talk about Legends. Corey Pecker has not been there. He's missed 4 of the last 5 weeks of the season here, and for whatever reason, he has. A, would you be concerned about rust? Him not having the time with his
Yes.
players, and B, mentally speaking, here, the last game he played was against the Finest. Seemed like he checked out and didn't really care about the game towards the end.
This guy's got to show up. I mean, do we even know if he is showing up for the
Well, that's a
game?
great question. We don't know, right?
We
It's
don't
a
even
big
know.
if, right? So we don't know
But
what's happening.
When we played the Legends last week, they had a whole slew of guys. They had to call a guy on because they got an injury from the sidelines.
Right.
It's who's going to show up? Who knows? Maniac's going to walk away with this with a forfeit. You never even know.
It's happened in the playoffs. I believe 2005 winter.
Even more
Wasn't
recently than
Flag
that.
one sack or those guys?
No, there's been forfeits. Like there was a forfeit in the quarterfinals or semifinals of Div C like 3 years ago.
Yeah. So it's happened before where a team doesn't show up, unfortunately, because of whatever circumstances, and they forfeit the game. So
And Tony Corey wanted me to say that he guaranteed a win and pulled through. Did you see his little pretzel nail in the coffin thing that he did?
No.
I thought he broke his back.
or his ankle.
He spun around and slammed the floor with his fist, and he said that it really hurt. It was hilarious.
Only
Post touchdown or post
Yeah,
game?
post touchdown to go up by 9 at the end of the game, near the end of the game, and he just spun around, pretzeled his legs, punched the ground, and said, "Nail in the coffin." It was the funniest thing I've seen him do.
God. Tony.
No flag. I think they thought he fell. That's how awkward it looked.
He's always flopping here and there. Godfrey Abu, his injury, he pulled up limp, maybe a pulled hamstring, lower body injury. If he can't go against the Legends, how big of a loss is he for that roster?
Oh, if they only have JR to look at if he's there,
J.R. Verger is, for those who don't know on Facebook, is in Guadeloupe.
So you just called it out, did you?
I did.
Kind of asked you not to do that.
It's on public domain. What do you want me to do?
Is it in? Who has JR Verger on Facebook?
I do.
Gotta love the professionalism around here.
I
According to my
ask
sources.
ask you not to do something.
I was
you go-
watching it like Dynamite,
I'm gonna.
kid with matches, and I just watched it happening.
Can you worst? You're the worst.
It's on Facebook. I even like this.
Nobody has him on Facebook except you.
A lot of people have him on Facebook. Godfrey Abu has him on Facebook. I'm sure Zach Fitzgerald has him on Facebook.
Last time I checked, people's vacation plans aren't posted on the Flag Plus website.
Well, Godfrey Abu, J.R. Verger posted Monday morning. Going back to the motherland, Guadeloupe.
Okay, so
That's
JR,
On FPF.
he might be there. He might come back
Yeah,
just for the
that's
game.
what I'm saying, though. He could be back.
You're an idiot. Anyway, yes, I hope Godfrey gets better. He shouldn't. Yeah, slow clap for you.
Is that for the alcohol commercial there? What's that whiskey?
Wisers.
Wisers, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Weathers?
Yeah,
Yes, it's
It's
Wisers.
not Canadian whiskey?
No, it's Wisers.
Weisers is Canadian whiskey. You're thinking of Canadian Club, but no.
Canadian Club,
No,
yeah.
it's
That's right.
Weisers.
Anyway, back to the point here.
The guy who picks up the purse with a bag. Yeah, it's great.
No Godfrey Abu. More likely than not, no J.R. Verger.
What I don't like is that Godfrey was still trying to play when they were up 9 points.
Well, it was still close, though. It was going
it
back
close
and forth.
before?
It was going back and forth until they pulled away with the
Did you
extra
see him? He
point.
could barely even run from the first third to the sideline. It was you're just injuring yourself more.
He reminded me of Paul Pierce in the 08 NBA Finals. We had to be carried off, and then next thing you know, he's back out there shooting threes against the Lakers.
It's something you would do, I feel like.
No, not me. Me and Marco Mastrioshka would.
Stop.
I'm just saying. Does the Tony Corey's playoff experience factor in now with maybe those guys not in the lineup?
I told him today he's going to have to step up. He has to. He made a one-handed grab and tiptoed down the line last game.
In his Brett Favre cleats, huh? Turf shoes.
His $30, what are they?
Oh,
$30.
they're nice shoes. I would wear them.
Would you?
I would, yes.
To what? Walk around because you don't play football.
I would wear them to walk around, yeah. Your thoughts,
Yes,
GM?
it does.
Tony Corey, his playoff experience and what he can bring to the team?
For sure. I mean, being a center who's made finals multiple times, the Hurricanes, outside the Hurricanes as well, the Maniacs, served with ice as close as
Okay, well,
last
don't talk about Hurricanes. That was black and white era, as Pease would call it.
He's not here at PZ, so we can talk about it.
He's listening.
But it does exist, and the point is that
Yes.
he's been on teams that are versatile.
Absolutely.
and-
Playoff experience is a huge thing, especially in Division A or 1 or 2. It's huge.
One X factor for each team, guys. I'll go with you, Matty.
I'm gonna go with the obvious, Sean Kennedy for Legends, or Corey if he actually shows up.
Yeah.
But either way, Sean Kennedy's gonna have to pull out a big game. And the other side, Rafa, all the way,
Yeah,
Rafa.
absolutely. That was
You
what I was
have
gonna
to. He can't. Chuck it now if he has
this game starts and ends with Rafa Belaja.
if he
plays
doesn't
well,
have those two guys to throw deep to, he's got to start playing a different game.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna have to keep mentally strong.
and
Something
get
you
creative
can't
with
do.
his play calling as well.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna you lose your top two guns. Someone has to step up. Tony Corey, I guess, would be the guy for them.
Have to be. But he only catches like 14 balls for 4 yards total. So
Yeah, but I think a guy like Jeremy Cola for Legends,
yeah, he was a killer last game.
he was definitely a killer last game.
Yeah.
Again, you mentioned Sean Kennedy. I think he'll get his touches, but I think a guy like Cola, the second and third options for whoever's quarterback.
Goloff as well.
Dan Goloff.
Dan Goloff,
he
yeah.
had a pretty good Div A season for them anyway.
He's going to be rushing Rafa, right? So he's good. I mean, he was top end of sacks this year.
Yeah.
He's going to have to do a big job against him. But then again, Rafa this year hasn't taken that many sacks.
No, he's got rid of the ball because he's thrown it deep.
He's no Phil Cutler in Div B with 30.
No.
He got sacked 30 times.
That's
in
3
D.
times a game. That's ugly. Winner of this game, is it more or less a sacrificial lamb for R&D?
Well, I'm going to say yeah.
We touched on him a bit earlier. It's very likely that either of these teams will, but if there's a team that will put up more of a fight, it'll be Maniacs, despite being...
You think so?
yeah.
I think full squad Legends would put up a pretty good fight. Chemistry or not.
Whatever their full squad consists
Yeah, I
of.
guess that's in an ideal situation because full
Yeah.
squad Maniacs would be able to do that
But
as
let's
well.
just say semifinals, you would assume that everyone's going to try to make it.
Right.
During the season, not so much, but
Division B playoffs. We'll go right into it. 6+R against Bearskins. The Bearskins were 5-5. 6+R 8-2 with a critical loss that pretty much put them in this position of being a 3 seed more or less now. The last time these two teams played each other, the Skins won 45-42. Ryan Edson 7 TDs. Fred Vien
Game of the
6.
week.
Yeah, it was 6 TDs and a critical 1 INT from Fred Vien. Marco Bertoldi and Mark Belvedere combined for 4 TDs. Neil Edinson, he had an awesome game that time against 6+R. Can he duplicate that against
well, he has to.
what is arguably a very angry 6+R team?
You can't go into it looking like 6+R are a 3 seed. They're realistically a 1 or 2 seed, and they fumbled up end of the season to give Darksiders the number 1 seed. So they got to play it as if it's a semifinal and just go all out.
Is he going to be back from vacation?
Oh yeah, what was that message today? That it was 6+R minus 2V. That's what Mark.
Maybe it's a cryptic message from these guys. I don't know.
Trying to
I
screw
will
with
say
them.
this, though, right? For 6+R, it might be a blessing in disguise to be a 3 seed because theoretically, if the bracket holds serve where the 1, 2, and 3 and 4 spots make it into the Final Four, they would have an easier road playing Brocasian than, say, Darkstars against Monstars or Preds, which are much tougher outs than, say, Brocasian are. So
Yeah.
they could really have an easier road. when you
Oh
think
yeah,
about
for
that.
sure they can.
And even in the case that you touched upon before, like the 6+R minus 2V, they still have capable weapons on this team if
Explosive.
need be.
But who would be their quarterback?
Dean Demetriou.
Oh, he would be.
And he's played quarterback a couple of times here and there.
Division 4 69er is a very,
So
very
he was
solid
on the
option.
69. Okay, yeah, he's definitely capable.
After Jacob Pearson, who was the next Skins player that had to step up to the plate? Whoever shows up. Unfortunately,
Well, whoever shows up, yeah.
There's no Sasha Papich. She's out for the year. But in hindsight, I mean, how many guys on that Skins roster can step up to play? Is it Kevin Lidman? Is it even Ryan Edinson for all we know?
Honestly, depending on whether it's Fred Vien or Dean Demetriou, Rusher Justin Ruddick is going to have to
Yeah,
do something.
agreed.
He's going to have to get to
obviously
either of those quarterbacks to really limit their options, considering the Skins are at such a depleted roster right now.
Yeah, agreed.
The firepower you mentioned before, I mean, and you mentioned the 2 Vs may not be there. Who knows, right? But you look at Dean Demetriou, Justin Blanchard, Anthony Garron, Omar Jackson. That's a lot of firepower on both sides of the football here. Has the Bearskins contend with this, given again that they are depleted with their firepower at a minimal strength?
I mean, realistically, I don't really see them stopping 6+R offensively, defensively a lot. So they're going to have to go score for score with them as much as they can and just count on those extra points. That's what I think they have to.
And to piggyback on that, that's exactly what they're going to need to do. But more than that, looking at this firepower, Neil Edison's going to have to really find that 1 or 2 maximum mismatches on the field and really exploit that, because if he tries to spread the ball around, the playmakers on the 6+R defense are just going to eat him up.
So hold on, should they milk the clock then, right? Because we
Oh, you're going to need time management. That is the biggest thing for teams in the higher division. They need to learn how to manage time.
I don't know if that's such a good idea though. Like milking the clock,
Not milking the
because
clock,
of the
by
fact that
managing.
6+R can score so easily.
What I'm implying though, you snap the ball inside 5 seconds, right? And you try to keep the possession.
No, but just
at a
time
minimum.
management. It's not milking it or dragging the time. It's just you need to know how much time you have left. If they do score, what you have to do. It's just you have to manage the time properly.
For 6+R, a guy like Omar Jackson, do you see him locking up Jacob Peterson, or do they stick with what they go with the traditional defense and let the cards unfold and dice go from there?
If I were 6+R, I would play the traditional defense because their zone coverage is absolutely incredible. The speed of Justin Blanchard, the speed of Anthony Garant, the field awareness of Dean Demetriou and Omar Jackson.
Yeah, stick with what works.
You don't really need because the Bearskins are at a depleted roster anyways. They can really limit that deep ball and make sure that they don't get beaten.
6+R, they can't, like, yes, we've talked about it this year. They've come out with 1-point wins. They can't start to get complacent knowing full well that they're depleted.
Fair.
Right? So they have to come out with the same game plan that they've done all season that's got them success. It's teams that try to change everything up in playoffs that don't have success, what I've seen.
We look at the Bearskins, 3 times they've been held to less than 20 points, which isn't good. Will 30 points be enough for them to win this game?
For 6+R.
For Bearskins?
Oh, for Bearskins?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think if they're going to go score for score, it's going to be 20 points a half at least. So,
Right.
over 40. I'd say over 40.
Brocasian Wolverines. Wolverines won the only battle, 33-26. Tony Tibet, 5 TDs. Phil Keller, 4 TDs. And I'm sure about a third of those sacks came in that game. Who knows? Do you favor the FPF experience of Tony Tibet over Phil Keller, given how far the Wolverines have gone in past FPF playoffs?
Yes. As much as they've sucked it up this year and Tony hasn't been there or yelling at people or whatever he was doing, I think this is where, because he knows it's do or die.
Oh, yeah, it's win or go home.
It's do or die. It's Tony's experience is going to pull through.
And this is coming from a team who already have 2 Division B championships as is.
Absolutely. And Phil is still yet to win a championship with either KGB champs or
a quarterback in general.
And he flamed out last spring, right, when they had the best team in Division B. And didn't
Has
get
Phil
past
Keller
the
won a
first round.
championship? Was he on that Shockers team? No.
No, he was not on that.
No, but as a quarterback, I mean, I remember my first season, 2008, he was destroying the league, and they still lost. First round.
Yeah. When you look at the Wolverines offense, the balanced Wolverines attack, do you favor that over the higher end attack of Brocasian? We all know about Sean Brophy and what he's done. Do you take that over a balanced attack?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Knowing you always have someone who you can rely on to make that big play, to come down with the ball, to really sway the pace of the game, that I would take, especially in B where you really need that one playmaker to stand up above the rest here. I would take that over the balanced
So
attack right
if
now.
they stop Sean Brophy, who had 44 catches, almost 600 yards, and about 19 TDs.
They're not going to stop him, but if they can limit
if they
him.
contain him,
Yes.
right?
If they can limit him, yes, they're going to have success. And as long as Wolverines don't take this down to the last 5 plays to have to win it offensively, they'll be fine.
Yeah, they've gone down that route.
Well, if they do, I think Tony's just going to keep on his consistent ways of not pulling through. But
So who from Brocasian has to step up then, not named Sean Brophy?
I would-
Lepofsky.
Justin Sarantola.
No.
I think when you have your wideout like Brophy going deep so constantly, having the safety outlet from a good center who can rely on that catch as being the flustered option is huge for Phil Keller, considering he's taken 30 sacks. He needs to just dump the ball over to a center when his first read is not there.
Lebowski's his mid-range guy, where, yes, he's sending Brophy deep, but when Brophy's not open, he's got
Lebowski's a
Lebowski's
possession guy.
Possession, by far.
Right.
And he's got great hands, and he's fast.
He's made some tough catches over the middle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, acrobatic need I say. Brocasian's defense, their concern is what? Eric Kavaljan, who had an awesome season both ways, or the ability of Tony Tibet to buy himself time in the pocket and run around and scramble and find someone open down the field? What is more concerning for this team as a defense?
I think it's the rushing of Tony Tibet. If Tony has time, he's going to make plays. It's guaranteed.
So it comes down to how consistent Alex Trantola is.
That's it. If
So how
Tony-
important is that, though, with the pass rush then?
Very, very
That's
important.
huge. I think
times
it's bigger
yeah,
than.
There's times where Trantola will leave his feet sometimes to try and block a pass, which Tony Tibet will eat for breakfast. Like he'll just tuck the ball and run in a case like that.
Oh yeah. Even if he doesn't, he'll just stop and go to the other side and get an extra 3-4 seconds.
And he didn't play against Tony Tibet in that loss earlier in the season.
Well, we're gonna see. It'll be fun.
So the running will be very, very fun. In your mind, though, I mean, the Wolverines snuck into the playoffs. It took them literally to the last 4 plays to confirm their playoff spot. Would this be an upset, though?
No. Because
Absolutely not.
you know what? I think this is the best case scenario for the Wolverines to have playing a second seed, but it being Brocasian. If it was the opposite, it was Bearskins and Brocasian, it wouldn't have been as fun for them.
Right. Monstars Preds, probably the toughest matchup to gauge because of how close these teams are here. Monstars won 31-25. Rod Mastrup had 5 TDs, 3 INTs. James Floriani, 3 TDs, 1 INT. If you're buying stock before this game, would it be the stumbling Monstars or the polarizing Preds?
I've been picking Monstars all year, and they keep
They're 1-2-3 in
punching
the last 6
me in the
games.
face with disappointment. So, as much as I got to keep on with Floriani's hatred, or Pease's hatred of Floriani, I'm going to go with Preds on this one.
What about you,
I
Jim?
would too. I think the fact that Ryan Aridi being injured,
Is he still injured?
I don't know if he's coming back.
You would know.
Whether he is or he isn't, I don't know.
Because that rush on Floriani is going to be huge.
Exactly, and especially since the rusher who they had playing Stanley Milford will not be eligible for playoffs, so they're going to have to think of either sending Jad Aridi in or something
Jad
if Ryan.
defensively.
Exactly, so it comes down to who you're going to put in if Ryan is not there.
So how, in your mind,
So just with that alone, I would buy more Pred stock right now.
Oh, yeah.
in your mind, though, with the Preds and how unpredictable they are, I mean, they lose teams they're not supposed to. They beat teams that they're not supposed to. I mean, what do you expect from this Preds team this weekend?
What do you mean they beat teams they're not supposed to?
Well, on paper,
On paper, they were one of the strongest rosters
well, they
all
stumbled
year.
along, though. They barely were able to make a dent in the whole
You're not making
DB.
sense again.
I am.
Basically, they were touted as being strong. They've played poorly, and now are they playing to their potential?
Yeah, no, they're playing exactly where I think they thought
Yeah, so it's
they were
not a
going to play.
surprise.
It's not
This
really a
is more,
surprise, but I think that Monstars struggling like they are is going to be perfect for the Predators to prey on it. It's going to be beautiful.
So 6 times they've given up 30-plus points to Preds defense. How concerning is that, especially against a very explosive deep ball mentality that Rod Mastrup has with this monster offense?
This is another game that's probably going to go score for score. It's not going to be a lot of defensive stops, especially with Monstars' depleted squad. Their defense is great if they have everybody there. If they don't, it's just a normal defense.
We mentioned Ryan Aridi, and again, knowing his status, we don't know yet for this weekend. But how concerning is that for the Monstars defense and the offense not to have
It would be the biggest
game
thing on the back
changer.
of
We
my
talked
mind
about
right
it
now.
last week. We said it last week that it's huge. It's Ryan was a lot of like at least 2/3 of their offense at the beginning of the season, and the rush is just huge. So it's ginormous. They're tying the Raiders when they should be blowing them out.
Would you take a 7% Ryan Aridi over Simon Bosquet-Baudin, who had 14 sacks?
No, not a
Yeah.
70%.
Not a 70%
No
either.
way.
What about 75%?
No,
What about 80%?
I wouldn't go under 90.
I would take a 40% Aridi over you,
Okay, sure. whatever.
but not over that guy.
Is it put up or shut up time for Mr. James Floriani?
Oh yeah, it's 1,000%.
Like, he has all the talent in the world, guys, but he comes up short in the playoffs, always.
Look at how much we're talking about how difficult the Monstars have it right now. If James can't capitalize on that, it's over.
It's over.
Go home.
And you give
And he is
an
the type
opening
of
for
quarterback
Pease.
who is capable of doing this.
Right.
But at the same time, the Preds receivers need to catch the ball. They need to make those routine catches. They need to run
It's
more
not just
disciplined routes and
Floriani.
getting
Yes,
lazy.
yes, we bust his
It
balls
isn't
a lot,
just-
but-
it's not just Floriani.
his defense doesn't show up, or his receivers drop balls that are easy.
He got pretty frustrated,
You see
though,
him
the
getting
last
frustrated
game.
on the
Yeah,
field. You see
he
him, and I mean, it's annoying as a quarterback when your receivers don't catch an easy
Right.
5-yard hook or out or whatever it is when you need it.
So the more dangerous player is who? Jacob Burnett or Isaiah Allard?
Isaiah Allard, for sure.
The size,
with the
the
Reedy,
speed.
with the Reedy gone, that's your target. That's your man.
I think Burnett. Look, Burnett's been he's fast, man. Like
Yeah, he's
super
fast.
Burnett's been paramount for them on that drag play.
And the deep ball.
Exactly, the
And
deep
if
ball
he gets
as
a deep
well.
ball early, and he got that deep ball against 6+R to open up their scoring drive, and it kind of gave him the confidence to say, like, yeah, we can run on these guys.
It's fair that Matt and I agree that Isaiah Allard is probably the better player.
Absolutely, yeah.
But in this dynamic right now, I might tend to
Explosive
agree with
plays.
you, especially if Ryan Aridi is out.
Yeah.
It's going to be very difficult for the
Well,
defense to really contain.
Yeah, it's Isaiah Lard or his check down is Jad all the time.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So it's one of the two
right.
for the most part.
Emotions, how much of a factor will this be, given we made the point of James Floriani being frustrated with his
Complaining at
defense? And yeah, well, look, both teams do complain a little bit here.
But if he starts complaining and getting on his, in his head, then you're done right away. You have to stay mentally strong and just, even when you throw a pick
Right.
or turnover on downs, you got to stay mentally strong. And I don't know if he's capable. Let's hope he is.
Darksiders Raiders. The Siders won 31-26. Fred Morissette had 5 TDs. Leon Holder 4 TDs way back in week 2. This actually was the start of the winning streak for the Darksiders. No PZ Del Rizzi or David Del Rocco, who are now in Hawaii chilling out.
Oh, no peas. Jeez. Who's going to snap?
Julien Bellavance, I would guess.
Either, it doesn't matter who.
Yeah.
Raiders have been in playoff mode for the last 2 weeks. Is this an ultimate David versus Goliath, in your opinion?
No.
Really?
No. Listen, I have to correct myself. Last week I called Rob White's team in Division 3 that ended up winning your team, GM, the Darksiders, but
Dark
it was
Horses?
the Dark Horses. You would have corrected me if you were here last week. Rob, as soon as I got in the field to Brossard, he's like, Matt, it's that Dark Horses?
Dark Horses,
Dark
yeah.
Horses. So I think I'm going to call it now.
But are they running on fumes, though? Because the last 2 weeks, guys, right, they beat the Wolverines quite handily and
tied the Monsters.
tied the Monsters, in which literally they were on...
It is the perfect way to enter the playoffs.
But could they meant to be tuned out, though, by the time it comes around there? Because they spent so much energy the last 2 weeks to get into the playoffs
No.
by the skin of their teeth.
No. I mean, the thing about it is yeah, it was a little bit more nonchalant having played Leon for the Legends last week, but if him too, he has to stay mentally strong. He's a big mental guy. If he starts to throw picks or he gets in his own head, and then they're done. But they're not running on fumes.
Fred Morissette, 44 TDs, 4 INTs. Great stats from him. Is it time for him now to take his game to the next level? He's a great quarterback, but he's yet to take that next leap to be an elite quarterback.
For right now, for the first round of playoffs, I think he's just got to stay with what works. They finished 8-1-1.
Right.
You don't need to change anything. There's nothing that needs
Well, there's no P's, so that hurts their offense.
hard. Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
Really does.
Absolutely.
His one catch it for 8 yards a game it's going to screw up his percentages.
Rob White, he has a 45-man roster, it appears so. They had 20 guys on the sidelines.
It's ridiculous seeing them on the sidelines
Yeah,
sometimes.
How many actually qualified? 6?
A lot qualified. Does he need to simplify this and go with the best players on the field, regardless of how many guys are there this week?
I think he has to play with the guys that have been there for the past couple of weeks that have got them to where they are now. The Sean Kennedys, the Rob. Well, Rob's going to obviously play himself. Who else is on that team?
Well, you have Stephen Hayes.
Steve
they have
Hayes.
Hayes, yeah.
You know, Grizzly. They have.
Well, you need
Alex Moreau.
You need Grizzly there no
Moreau.
matter what, whether he was there the last couple of weeks or not.
So, but we look at the deep roster. Well, I guess
You don't want to call it it's just too
a
much.
roster.
A
Yeah.
roster.
A roster. They got a lot of guys to work with here, but is this on Leon Holder to win it on
Yes.
his ability? Because like Leon, there's good Leon, there's bad Leon.
Oh, is there ever?
We saw bad Leon versus
That's
R&D.
true.
No, it is true though. There
Well,
is.
against R&D. I mean, it's not his team.
No, it is.
Leon Holder on fire is a phenomenal quarterback. And
He's
that's when
locked
you
in.
see it though. Yeah, he's locked in. He's in the zone. You can see the wheels turning in his head and how fired up he is. But when he's not mentally there, the game's over.
Darksiders. It could be like the first 5 minutes into the quarter. Just fields. Yeah. Now
That matchup is going to be a huge one
right.
because Leon getting flustered in the pocket.
Oh, sorry. No, Chris Fields is for Raiders. I thought you were
No, I
referring
meant
to-
for Darksiders.
Yeah, there's a platoon of rushers for Darksiders. So
Well, a platoon. Nice. But Leon getting flustered in the pocket, it's when he makes mistakes. If you give him time, you're done.
well, by the way, the Raiders had 9 sacks during the regular season.
Okay, but I'm not talking about their defense.
I know.
It's going to be all on Leon, I think. Sorry, Leon. I don't want to put pressure on you, but
Okay, so it's on Leon. Darkstars have the best defense in Division B. Could that be their centerpiece and why they could win this Division B
Absolutely.
race.
Defense wins championships. You know this. Not when you're on the team, but defense wins championships.
GM.
There's not much more you can say than that.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
It's true. Gotcha.
Fair enough.
14 sacks. 14 sacks.
You had 14 sacks, huh?
No, I didn't. You did.
I had 19 actually in total. When you
There's
think about
no way that's real.
it. I had 5 in the playoffs.
That doesn't count.
It does count. It's a cumulative stat, man.
I've
Anyway.
had like 40 sacks in the season.
We've gone through the Division A, Division B playoffs. It is now time
It
for
is
the
now time
awards.
for the awards, which I'm really, really happy for.
Before we delve into the awards, we just want to send an advance congrats to all the winners out there and nominees.
I just want to say that you didn't even tell me who any of the winners were.
Well, you know
I'm
Div-A.
supposed to be a co-host, and you don't tell me anything.
Yeah, but you're Div-A. You know the Div-A award winners, don't you?
No.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Let's dive into it.
So we'll start with Division B.
Okay, perfect.
Quarterback of the year.
Come on, Eagle.
So we all know quarterback of the year, Fred Vien. Very, very solid right now. 1,792 yards, 56 touchdowns, 5 INTs, 74.5% completion ratio, quarterback rating 123.4.
Fantastic.
Is anyone
Ridiculous.
surprised?
No, not at all.
Come on, 74%. That's no 80.
I think he had
That's
that.
no 80 like in Division. What, in Div 4?
He had that wrapped up way back in week 6, week 7.
Oh
Next.
yeah, we were talking about it in week 6. Good for him.
We could have given it to him back then. Next.
We could have, yeah, on the subject of things we could have given up a little bit earlier rather than later. Division B receiver of the year. Is it up? No, it's not. So I felt like I delayed enough time.
Can you give us a
in
hint?
there. Well, like I said, just like the quarterback of the year was locked up really, really early on, I think it's fair to say that the
guess?
Division B receiver of the year was locked, and it was Sean Brophy.
I told you.
Brophy. Oh my!
I knew it.
Surprise!
Well,
Shocker!
you know it's this is all a shock for me.
No, it's not a shock for me because I didn't know Sean Brophy won.
You're full of it.
I swear to God.
It was my guess before.
I know who won Div A. That's all I know. Division B defensive player of the year.
So this one was a little bit harder to judge at the same time. Also, I'm talking as if I was on the decision panel. I was not. I just have the results in front of me. But when it came all down to it, the player who was selected to be the defensive player of the year was Jadaridi. 30 tackles, 6 INTs, 8 PDs, just really being all
Really?
over the field. Yeah.
Oh,
system
man.
DB will gain the stats. I
Good
see.
for you, Jed.
Nice system player that he is. All right, 2A of the year.
So this one is a little bit trickier as well. You have players who play receiver, who play quarterback. It's a mix between the two. This one, the one standout player right now, just being absolutely everywhere on the field. Two-way player of the year, Anthony Garan, 6+ R.
Can't complain.
I was gonna
40
say,
receptions, 455 yards, 17 TDs, 19 sacks.
I was gonna say you just surprised me. He didn't get defensive player of the year. That's
No.
good for him.
I guess it's more prestigious.
It's a
as well.
rusher.
Yeah,
it's my
exactly.
favorite.
All right, it's now time for the Division A. Woo! Yeah! All right.
Why are you yelling?
Trying to create a crowd ambiance. All right, Division A. We got
So,
quarterback
Division
of the year.
A, we have quarterback of the year, Kevin Wyeth.
Just rename it the Kevin Wyeth Award.
I
please.
told
Kevin-
this, that was my suggestion. By the way.
2,166
remember.
yards, 62 touchdowns, 7
62?
INTs.
I'm not impressed.
Well, he had 7 in the last game.
8.
Or 8, whatever it was. So
He did it on purpose to beat Marco. I know he did it on purpose.
68% completion ratio, 119 quarterback rating.
How many times did he get sacked? 5?
Not listed.
Not listed.
I don't have his stats up. I have.
Okay, well, two of them
page.
are mine. That's one.
All right, fair enough.
Good for you, Kev.
We're going to go to receiver of the year.
Receiver of the year, please.
Right now, we all know
Yeah.
the absolute dominance. Just especially even for Division 1, receiver of the year.
Kareem Bennett?
Very strong. No,
Did he even play one?
Bobby Michaelberg, 52
complain.
receptions,
Sure.
584 yards, 17 TDs.
For a team that didn't
really
make
can't do it.
playoffs. Poor guy.
Almost 1 TD for every 3 receptions. Remarkable.
Well, that catch
So,
he made last week was
We're
fantastic.
gonna
Awesome.
bring
The
up
corner of the end
two-way
zone.
player of the year first. I know we did two-way player of the year last.
First, I had it in a certain order.
Yeah, okay. defensive
Eagle
player of the year.
apparently had it in a certain order, so it doesn't make it as fun right now. But defensive player of the year, great player. He's got a really stupid face, though. I don't like looking at it. He's laughing right now, so he knows it's him. Matt Kirouac, 10 sacks, 10 passes defended, 2 INTs. Defensive player of the year, hands down.
I wonder if
So upset Mo is right now.
I wonder if that 10th PD was what put it over the top.
Maybe the pick? No?
I think the
It was
PD,
right in your face.
the PD was what put it over the top.
Never mind. It's me and Mo's thing.
Let's say it moved me to a bigger
house. I said the quiet part loud and the loud part quiet.
Yeah.
Two-way of the year.
Barney's movie moved me, but football in the groin had a football in the groin.
Let's go. Two-way of the year, please.
2A player of the year, Marco Massiottra. Solid
Yeah.
quarterbacking stats, 68 touchdowns, 1,938 yards, 10 INTs, 110.0 quarterback rating, 19 tackles, 4 INTs, 6 PDs.
Can I ask
Should
you a
we
question?
present him the award at Rouge on Saturday?
Do you know who he is?
Yes, I do know he is.
Yeah.
He's a hell of a bartender.
Can we update who is Andre Knights to who is Marco Massiottra?
It is.
could do
We
that.
should actually. Who is Marco Massiottra?
I don't think we should do that because everyone knows who he is.
Yes.
He makes damn sure about that.
All right, it's now time for picks of the week here, guys. Let's dive right into it. You have the picks, or do I go with the picks here, GM?
It's as you wish.
All right, you have the picks?
It's your show. I have them, but
Go for it,
you want
man.
me to do it? Okay.
Go.
So right now, Maniacs versus Legends. The odds have the bet makers have put it at Legends with half a point.
So it's.
So basically a convert.
Pick 'em.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Legends just because I know things.
Take points.
I'll take the points.
Well, due to the anyway, I'll take the Legends as well. Next game.
Disagree.
6+R Bearskins. 6+R favorite to win this one. 8.5 points.
Nah, I'll take the points. No, Bearskins are gonna keep it close, but they're not gonna win.
So taking the Bearskins then.
That's why I said I'll take the points.
Yeah, I'm taking the 6+R and the points. They will win by 14.
Brocasian Wolverines. The favorite here are Brocasian by 3.5.
No, Wolverines
Yep, agreed. Wolverines.
right through.
Yep.
At least a touchdown. It's fair.
Monsters Preds. We got
Monsters Preds. Monsters are favored at 5.5 right now.
This is gonna be a
Man.
close game.
Yeah, at 5.5 for Monstars.
And the biggest spread of the playoffs, Darksiders Raiders.
We didn't even pick
Yeah,
it.
we didn't pick yet.
We didn't even pick.
I got Preds, so I got the Monsters winning though.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Monstars though on this one.
All right, last game.
Now you can say it.
Now you can say it there, Mr. GM.
Darksiders Raiders. Biggest spread, 9.5 Darksiders.
Raiders.
Darksiders.
Raiders.
Darksiders, brother.
But take Leon. Let's go, man.
Darksiders, brother.
Points.
Take the point. I took the points.
What did you learn in today's episode?
I learned that if we try and recreate jokes, it ends really badly.
Yep.
I wonder why. Mocon.
Eagle. Eagle, what did you learn in today's episode?
I learned that we can make it from Laval to Anjou in about 20 minutes and set up in about 20 minutes.
Okay, perfect. Kirak.
I learned that next week is the last time that Erica will see Erica 5. I mean,
No, we have 2
Eagle.
more weeks.
no, one more.
2 more.
Is it 2 more?
No,
Yeah.
Where are we doing? Are we doing the press conference here? Because
Yeah,
then we
we
have
are.
two.
Oh, we
Then
are
we
doing
have
her?
two.
Oh, so you have 2 chances. Never mind.
Yeah.
So he has 2 chances to see Erica 5.
I learned
Eagle.
that Matt Kirak won 2 of the year
No, I didn't.
because of the PDs.
No,
Whatever it was.
Defensive Player of the Year, and he only found out. For those of you listening, he only found out. Like none of us told him.
They didn't want to tell me.
Good morning, South Korea.